Hi, Zach. How are you? I'm Eirini from Eirini Mo Asks YouTube channel. I'm so happy to have you. So thank you so much for being here with me.
Eirini, it's great to meet you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Of course, of course. So I watched the film. I really enjoyed it. I love the chemistry that the two leads have.
Mhm.
So they have like a comedic chemistry. Was that a
Good.
natural thing? How did that happen? It seemed to me it seemed very natural.
It is natural. And in the audition process, when you have, first of all, Sally Kirkland agreed to do the film. She was the very first person basically involved in the making of the film. I wrote it, and I've been friends with Sally. I mean, the movie's the story of my friendship with her. So
Mhm.
I've been friends with her a long time. I brought her the script and its first draft, and I said, take a look. Let me know if you'd like to play yourself. So she was in. So the next big step was who are we going to get to play me, Zach?
Yeah.
And someone early on said, you should play yourself. I said, no, no, I want to get a young actor to play me and I'll direct. And so we found Tyler Steelman through a friend of the producer, kind of at the very last minute. We had auditioned a lot of people. And at the very last minute, he came through the door. Literally, he came through Sally Kirkland's apartment front door. She wanted to at a certain point she wanted to audition men on her bed. And I know that sounds extremely crazy and unconventional, which I guess it is, but this is how she is. So I said, please get on the bed with her. I didn't even know him, and he's walking in and she was at her wits end. She was like, I don't want to keep auditioning people. We've got to make a decision because the audition this had been weeks and weeks of auditioning people. And as soon as and we had lights and camera going, and as soon as they started talking to each other on the bed, using a scene, they had magic and chemistry, and they were like making each other kind of laugh and bringing out the best in each other. And I saw a spark in her with him that was a really special thing, and I realized it's him. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, he's our guy. Who is this person? And she was thrilled, and I was thrilled. We were all thrilled. So that is a natural chemistry between between them and between, it's funny with human beings how we spark to certain people
Yeah.
naturally.
Mm.
And some people we don't as much. And it's just it's nothing you can predict or expect. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why people go on dates, right?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
kind of like feeling out, is she right? Is he right? Whatever.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of know when it's
Mm.
right.
Hmm.
And thank
Yeah.
you for noticing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was obvious to me. And I think it's the aura as well. You get a certain aura from different people when you meet them, and then you feel like, oh, I'm intrigued, I'm attracted, and not it doesn't have to be like, a relationship attraction. It can be just any attraction.
hmm
So, how easy was it to convince Sally to do actually this film? Because she's got a lot of personal stuff in there.
Well, she's always been a bit of an exhibitionist. So I felt like she could really love this. Or have I gone too far? Although she's always been famous for going too far. So maybe my going too far can't even compete with her going too far, if you're familiar with her history at all. So
Mm.
she's basically she had the script and she said, give me the weekend to read it and I'll get back to you on Monday. I said, okay. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, what you gonna think? And then on Monday she said, I read it and I'm in. She said, you played me, you wrote me as the world's biggest narcissist, and I can't wait to play myself that way. And so I said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I've got her interested. And the movie is about my relationship with her. So of course I want her to play her. I'm not
Mm.
going to audition other actresses to
Yeah,
play Sally Kirkland.
yeah.
So, and she's a tremendous actress. She's been Oscar nominated, Golden Globe winning, Independent Spirit Award winning, many critics awards over the years. And this is to me a real great performance in Sallywood.
hmm Yeah, I agree. I agree. Everybody, I loved everyone's performance in
Oh,
it.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, they were all very suited, I felt. So, and
Good.
why did you decide to put your relationship and your friendship with Sally onto the big screen?
It's funny. It just occurred very organically. I was at a birthday party in 2014, so over 10 years ago, and it was a birthday party in Los Angeles where everyone was asked to get up and tell a funny story of something that happened to them in their life. And I told the story of how I met Sally Kirkland and became her assistant. And the whole room was hysterically laughing. And they said, "That's the funniest story we ever heard. Could you please put that and make that into a movie?" And I and,
Mm.
and I said, um, "Well, it's just a story I told. It's not like I'm making a movie out of it." And they said, "Well, make a movie out of it. Write a script, write it, make it." And I went, "Okay." So I just went home and I started typing, fade in. And I just wrote the screenplay exactly as it happened. I didn't even change the names.
Mhm.
So I didn't change the dialogue either because I remember exactly what she said to me back when I was her assistant. And I just captured that whole chapter in time. Uh, but I didn't go around pitching it. I didn't, pound the pavement to find financing or funding. It's so crazy. It all just unfolded naturally, bit by bit. And before I knew it, I had a movie going into production.
Oh.
It was really almost like a homemade experience.
Mhm.
It's not like I was like, I must make a movie. I must make, I was just like, let's just see if this happens.
Yeah.
And it did, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, of course. Is Hollywood really like how it's portrayed in the film?
Yes, much worse, actually.
Really?
I mean, it's funny. Jennifer Tilly, who's in the movie, she plays my mother.
Mhm.
She said to me after one screening, "You've made a very authentic story about a very inauthentic town." And she said, "In LA, do you live in Los Angeles?"
I live in New York in Manhattan.
Oh,
Yeah.
I lived in Brooklyn. I went to college in Brooklyn at Pratt Institute.
Mhm.
So yes, I love New York. Um, and I've lived in New York and LA.
Mhm.
So and now I'm in Maine.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
A
And I
whole
was
other
wondering
world.
because I read
Uh,
that you're in Florida, and I was thinking what he's wearing looks not Florida weather
this is not
type of
Florida. No,
clothing.
none of this around me feels Florida to me.
Yeah.
So in fact, if you looked out my window, all the trees are turning red and orange and yellow. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So we're in the height of autumn right now.
Hmm.
What was I going to say? Oh, Jennifer Tilly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she said, in Los Angeles, it's a city famous for people not helping each other in this industry.
Mm.
When you knock on someone's door, when you try to make something happen, um, good luck.
Mm.
And in this movie, every time Sally tries to further herself to try to get back in the game, it's met with a lot of cold response.
Mm.
And that's true to life. But of course, I made a comedy. I could make a very dark, twisted,
Yeah.
angry drama about it, but I made a very light, breezy,
Yeah.
hearted comedy about it. Yeah, but it
Yeah.
it really is a tough city in so many ways and a tough, tough industry.
Mm.
I mean, other movies have explored this theme too.
Yeah.
It's and there's a reason why, because it's true.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting because I was wondering that when I watched the film, but then
Hmm.
obviously there's a comedic side into the whole thing, and
But
when
something I really love about the characters in the film is that they, Zach and his little gang and Sally, they're all like, come on, we can do it. Like they have a we can do it attitude, um, where they are determined to get Sally back in the game,
Mm,
Zach wants to get in the game. You know, they're all and even the porn star girlfriends of Tom, they're all like trying to
mm,
make it. And
yeah.
and it's almost it almost reminds me of like the Peanuts gang. Like they're just they're very childlike in their joy and enthusiasm,
Hmm.
no matter what it takes, no matter how bad Tom's zombie movie is in the film, they're just like their heart is in it
Yeah.
to to the end.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're not going to let anyone trample them.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Of course. And you can see that they believe in it.
Yeah, yeah. And I equate Zach in Los Angeles a little to Alice in Wonderland because you've got a character who is in this strange, nonsensical world where everything is kind of coming at you, and sometimes things are attacking you or deceiving you.
Hmm.
You don't know what path is the right path. You're not quite sure who to listen to or trust, much like Alice in Wonderland. So it
Mm.
feels kindred to that to me.
Yeah, that is true, actually. That's a good association to make. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So the film was released in 2024 that I saw, and it won so many awards so far. It's been to a
Actually,
lot of festivals.
the big release is 2025.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be premiering on Amazon Prime November
Mm.
14th, that weekend,
Okay.
2025.
Wow.
So for anybody watching this, if you're watching it after November 14th, 2025, go to Amazon Prime, type in Sallywood, one word, it should pop up.
Well done, because I saw
Mhm.
that in the Cannes Film Festival, you got worldwide distribution.
Yes, this year. So we have distribution. It'll be on Tubi also, Tubi.
Yeah.
It'll be on other streamers as well, and in certain theaters on the big screen across coast to coast.
Oh, amazing. That's really
Yeah,
good.
that's
That's
all coming
amazing.
very soon.
What other plans do you have for the film? So obviously you got worldwide distribution, you've won so many awards, it's gone round the festivals, and you're 2B, Amazon Prime. What else do you want to do with the film?
I just want people to see it. I just want it
Mhm.
out there. The film festivals are fantastic because you're getting the first glimpses of people's responses and reactions, which were overwhelmingly positive. And yeah, it's thrilling that we went to all these festivals and won 50 awards,
Yeah.
but only a couple thousand people have seen it as opposed to a couple million.
Hmm.
So when it gets distribution and it's on Amazon Prime and it's in everyone's homes, I just can't wait for the world to laugh along and go along for this very fun,
Hmm.
heartwarming ride.
Yeah, yeah. How would you describe the film to someone, like in two sentences?
Ooh, I would say it's a multi-generational story of love and friendship with a lot of laughs, heart. It will touch you.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's a true story.
Yeah.
So this isn't fiction. It's funny how when you watch it, it seems a little unreal, like all this really happened to Zach, but it did. And in a way, that's why this film exists, because I told a true story from my life at this birthday party years ago. And it's a true story. And then I just wrote it and then we filmed it. And now it's available. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, when
Okay.
you watch it, you do feel like that can't be true. You know what I mean? And then when you read the
Yeah.
true story, you're like, wow. And then you're
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
intrigued.
I also think it's a story, I think it's a film about manifestation
Mhm. Oh.
because from a young age, I had been interested in Sally Kirkland so much.
Mhm.
And I remember when I went to LA, being asked, who would you like to meet? What star would you like to meet? And, Sally Kirkland was the first name on my mind.
Wow.
It wouldn't be the first name on a lot of people's mind because they might not know who she is. She's, at one point she was very famous, as she says in the movie, and was very well known. And then, things shifted and changed, and other people became in the spotlight, and you get pushed out,
Mm,
unless you're
mm.
constantly fighting to stay on the A list. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah, and it was complete fate that I just met her when I moved there and ended up as her assistant. But I manifested it, I believe, because I really wanted it to happen. And if you really have your mind and heart set on something to happen and you're focused on it and you work towards it, I do believe it can happen.
I believe the same.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I
Hmm.
completely agree with you on that. So your background, so you have 2 degrees that I've seen,
Hmm.
and what are you planning to do after this film? Because I've also seen that you wrote the questions that Ryan Seacrest would say on E! Live from the red carpet. I was well impressed with that. I
Thank
was
you.
thinking, wow, that is really amazing.
Well, I lived in LA for almost 15 years and I wore many, many hats. I was an assistant to executive producers Michael Levitt and Henry Winkler, who I kind of hint at in the film, Sallywood.
Mhm.
I worked as a publicist for years, for many celebrities, and I worked as a question writer for Ryan Seacrest on his team for the E! Live from the Red Carpet specials. And I wrote for a variety of shows. And and did other things. I was a hand model. I don't know if you know this, but I appeared on Hell's Kitchen, the Fox series with Gordon Ramsay, the famous chef,
Mhm.
for a couple seasons as Francisco the party planner. I did so many wild things because I was always saying yes to everything. So
Mhm.
when someone would say, Zach, would you do this? I'd say yes. Would you write for our magazine? I was a journalist, and I wrote for Huffington Post also. And yeah, I just said yes to everything. And and it always led me on really fantastic adventures, and it
Mhm.
still does. So it's a good philosophy. Um, and, when I was asked, would you like to do this interview with Irina? I said yes. So here we are.
I'm so glad you said yes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Now, what was your question? I can't remember.
So, what are you planning to do after this film? What do
Oh,
you?
well, I certainly want to make more films. But
Mhm.
I'm also in one of the other hats I wear, I'm an art teacher.
I know, yeah, K to 8, I think, or K to 5, was it?
Yeah, well now, like age 3 to 300, like I teach every human
Mm,
walk of life.
yeah.
Um, when I go to Florida, my mother and I go to Florida in the winter months. Uh, I'm down there teaching, adults, children, middle school. I teach the inmates at the local jail. I teach people in the assisted living homes, elderly retired people, and
Hmm.
I've taught Alzheimer's patients art, the whole gamut of existence. And I love teaching art. I love teaching writing too. I teach writing nationwide, and I love teaching. But teaching's a special calling, and I was nominated for Massachusetts Art Teacher of the Year in 1999.
Wow.
So it's something that I love to do, and I know I do it well, and I
Mm,
love people.
hmm.
And I love learning. Like a part of teaching that doesn't get talked about is that the teacher is learning so much from the students also.
Yeah.
And I learn from them, and it's such a joyful exchange.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I
And I'm also an
understand.
artist, by the way. I just illustrated a children's book. I'm always doing art. I was just down in my art studio here doing art earlier today, and I feel like I want to make a couple new pieces of art every day, at least. And
Mm.
photography, painting, collage, drawing, everything. I love art.
Do you plan to do any more films, you think?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes.
Good.
Uh, so we'll just have to stay in touch about that.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Um, Lastly, before we go,
Okay.
how is Sally and her health, and how can we help?
Okay, I don't know if you can post a link here, but there is a GoFundMe for her, which is
Hmm.
active, and she has received medical care. I mean, she's alive and well. But she's been healing from a series of infections and broken bones for the whole past year,
Mm,
and going from healthcare facility to healthcare facility in Southern California, where she's had a lot of really good care, but the medical bills are a lot,
yeah.
and she needs some help. So, and I try to talk to her regularly on the phone and visit her when I'm out there, of course. But would you be willing to post the GoFundMe link and
Yeah,
people can
of course.
donate to her
Yeah.
medical help? It'd be so great. Thank
Hmm.
you.
Hmm. Of course, of
It's
course.
funny. People think like, well, if she's a famous actress who was nominated for an Oscar, she must be very rich. And that's not really always the reality,
Mm, yeah, yeah, of
especially
course.
with the expense of medical.
Oh gosh, yes. I
Hmm.
completely agree with you on that. The
Yeah.
insurance cost or the self-pay costs, they're a lot.
I want her to get back on her feet and, live life to the fullest. She'll be 84 on Halloween.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely post the link for sure. And I'll
Thank you.
I'll I'll do a contribution myself, of course.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm going to do one too. Thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you so much. It was so nice to speak to you. Thank you for
You
speaking to
too.
me.
I appreciate this so much. And we'll be in touch, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Sallywood,
absolutely.
everybody, go see it.
Yes. Yes, of course. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.